All right, guys. So we're on now. It says quick and fantastic. You'll notice at the top of the page, we're not going to take it that fast. I'm thinking more of a tempo, Aaron, like 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. Is that good? 1 and 2. Is that doable? Okay. So, just a few discussions of things. The divisi on the last page, when we're on bell, the pianissimo. It's the bell marked pianissimo with a lot of tied half notes. I'd like Obi to take the root of that chord, G, and Lizzie, if you could take the B, that would be great. And then every other place, if Obi takes the root of the chord or the first note in the tone cluster, and you take the one right above him, then that would be helpful. And if it's not there, don't worry about it, we'll just go with it. So, I've divided this into about 3 sections. The first section goes from the first page to the second page, and the first section ends on the second page, second system, reply, and then it goes into a warmer feel. So in the first section, I want it to be, tell me, where is fancy bread? So very quiet, very short, almost, it's a word to describe it. Pensive, expectant, very excited, and waiting for something very exciting. And that, what you're waiting for, I would say musically happens on the top of page 3, on the text, in the cradle where it lies. There's a tonal shift there that happens that really emphasizes that text. And also the poetry kind of climaxes there, as the idea is that fancy, it sticks around for a bit and then it dies and it goes away. So fancy dying in the cradle where it lies is a very big idea. So ways we're going to emphasize that, sing a lot louder there, make that crescendo really happen. And then let us all ring fancy's knell, the system underneath in the cradle where it lies. Do you guys see that? Okay. Those accents, don't overdo it on that. Just make it bouncy and crescendo towards knell. That's the end of the phrase right there. So crescendo towards that. And then the last ding dong bell, each one of those needs to be louder. So you need to start very quietly, and each one kind of swells. Ding dong bell, ding, and then it keeps going, and it ends, it gets to its peak on the fortissimo on top of page 4. And after you get that, let that one be the only one that's fortissimo, begin diminuendoing right after that. And you're going to end up at pianissimo and even diminuendoing from pianissimo at the bottom of page 4. So you're going to end very quietly. So that's some ideas, just to consider. I'm going to try to just really show this with my hands. So we'll go ahead and, can you see me?
Are you not supposed to be in the shot?
The camera's pointing towards me right now.
Is it? Okay, sorry.
Yeah, you're good. All right, here job, guys. All right, good first run through. All right, I really like the dynamic contrast you guys gave me. That was really good. And it's really good, especially for two voices. Typically, this would be a lot more than what we have right now. But this is just what we're dealing with right now, so we'll just run with it. Good job on the piano, Aaron. That sounded good to me.
Am I covering them?
You could be just a little bit quieter, especially on the beginning section where it's the pianissimo parts. Make that a lot shorter. Go ahead and maybe even ignore the pedal thing,
Yeah.
and just make the bass line very, very staccato, if that's
Okay.
possible. That can change, though, on page 2 when it gets to the piano warmer part.
Yeah.
It is engendered. Make that a bit smoother. Same things for the singers. All right, so thoughts. What do you guys think this piece is about?
Is it literally about like the word fancy?
It
Like
is.
fanciness? Okay.
It is. Now, fancy in the British idea is I don't really love this person, I fancy this person, which means tomorrow I might not fancy him or her. So the idea here is that the dynamics are going to be very choppy almost. The contrast has to be very big because one minute you're up here, you are so in love. And the next minute you're like, meh. So just kind of let that show in the dynamic contrast you give me. Another just thing I'd like to run through, if we can start the second system, page 2, the last measure in that system. So Aaron, that would be where you have looks like yeah, you see what I'm looking at? For me it's measure 21, but I don't have measures for you.
Yeah, that's
Okay, cool. So I'm going to start right there, and I'll watch my hands, and I'll try to give you clear things to do. Cool, that's good. All right, I really like that. You guys crescendoed very well. Like you allowed it to be quiet and then get to a louder dynamic. So if we can do that when we do a full run through, let's go ahead and do that. And that part we just sang, it is engendered to In the Cradle Where It Lies. That'll be a very warm, let it vibrate, let the tone vibrate, let that be warm. But then when we get to forte on Let Us All Ring Fancy's Knell, I want that to be very stark. Don't hurt your voices on the accents, but go ahead and let it be less warm and vibrant in your tone. And then on I'll Begin It, let that be almost ominous, but a very quiet ominous. Okay, let's see here. You guys have any thoughts or questions or concerns? Okay, we'll go ahead and do one more run through. And then after that, we'll give any more other feedback items that might be needed, and we'll go from there. Cool. Just one thing that I noticed. Let's start even quieter on the first ding dong. Let's make that more of a pianissimo. And that way, when we do crescendo to the fortissimo, it can be more stark and more like the very stark contrast between the levels of volume. Let me just run that real fast and I think we'll be done. We're going to start on, for you, Aaron, like I said, be measure 40 on I'll Begin It. You guys don't need to sing on I'll Begin It. If you want to, you can, if that helps. But the main thing we're focusing on is Ding Dong Bell. One, two. Okay, excellent, guys. That's about all we need to do today. Thank you very much.